Hello, I am Stephanie Joy, the attorney at All Things Social Security and Joy Disability Law. Your video is about to start. I just wanted to remind you that if you click the join button below, you can learn more about the memberships offered at a very affordable price that can give you a little more direct attorney answers to your questions. Have a great day and enjoy the video. Happy Sunday. I hope you all had a great weekend. Yeah, that is a little tiring, but anyway. Okay, so we're going to do the Sunday Social Security roundup for the week of, it looks like the 18th. Time is flying, of course, to the 24th. All right, through yesterday. So I have, if I can just find my spot here. Okay, so Monday the 19th, actually. So 18th was Sunday. Monday the 19th, we had a little ditty about SSI and trusts, which would be used for inheritance gifts, trying to leave something to a loved one on SSI and how you can best protect that and keep those SSI benefits. It's not truly very simple, but it goes into special needs trust. And then you have to move forward on that with an expert in that area. That's a very niche-y type of estate planning. Very, very important for SSI folks. Okay, so Tuesday. Oh yeah, this was a little share about when you're going for state benefits, right? That's not federal, but they want to make sure that you have filed for Social Security. And if you get denied, in this particular instance, we are appealing, but the state agency said, prove you've appealed now, or we're going to cancel your claim on their side, on the state level, unrelated. And I get that they want you to pursue your other benefits because then they don't have to give out as much welfare to you. It totally makes sense if you have other wherewithal. However, the federal deadline to appeal is 60 days so that people can really get themselves organized, make sure that's what they want to do, get all their information together, maybe jump on a few more doctor appointments, whatever. There's 60 days. There's a reason for that notice period. So this was a bit of an event by me when the state agency in a particular gentleman's case told him that if he didn't have it filed in like 3 days, they were going to cut him off. So I was a little livid about that because that is so not the right thing to do. He has his federal rights and you, the state, are trying to interrupt that. We did end up hustling and getting that out a little quicker than I would have preferred. And we can fix the things that we're missing later. But that's just not good practice and it's unethical. And I was really shocked that the state did this. I forget which state it was. Okay, so the next day, the 21st, that would be Wednesday. It's a description about the fee petition, which is the alternative to the contingent fee agreement most people are familiar with when it comes to hiring a lawyer or a non-attorney rep for your disability claim, the medical portion. And the pros and cons of a fee petition, basically, and how you will be stuck with it if you terminate your representative, because then they're going to seek to get paid for what they did via a fee petition. So learn a little bit about that. That's something you plan on doing. There are a few other instances when a fee petition is mandatory in order for the SSA to determine what fee they're going to choose to approve. But the one with when you're terminating the relationship is the one that we kind of drive home the most here. The 22nd. Thursday. Oh yeah, so this was about how there was a big data breach at a company where billions of records, including our social security numbers, escaped and got into bad hands, supposedly on the dark web, and they're being sold and they're being given away to every shyster out there. It happened in April. I was a little surprised that it took this long for it to really get out there in mainstream media. Which it looked like it did around August 15th. So we just do a little blur about that, about what it was about and which company screwed up. It was not the SSA, I should add. The 23rd, Friday. Oh yeah, fraud law review. This is about a Tennessee chica who spent a good decade impostering a victim, not only collecting SSD on that victim's account, but also getting Medicare as if she were that victim. Interesting, it came to light when that victim actually decides to file for her own benefits one day when she's retiring or whatever, only to find out that someone's been collecting on her. I mean, it's appalling. 10 years that could happen, and the SSA didn't catch it. But eventually they did, obviously. That was a Tennessee non-lovely lady. Saturday, 24th. This was the there had been questions about what the new past relevant work period that went from 15 years to 5 years. The 5 years previous to what? Is it the day you apply, and is that always going to be the period they're looking at on that application, or does it move? Does it change? We go into that. Super important. And I think you'll like the answer. All right, so that looks like that was it for that week, guys. I hope you all had a good week. I hope you have an even better week coming up. Stay cool, stay warm, stay dry, all that good stuff. And I'll see you next week. Bye. So you just listened to the week's roundup of all 7 days right behind us and what those video tips were. Are you concerned if you didn't necessarily catch the ones from the week prior to that? Don't worry, we're going to attach it right here. Have a great week, guys. Bye. Happy Sunday. I can't believe we are more than halfway through August of 2024. Time flies so fast. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. I really don't. It's insane for me. Maybe some of you feel the same way. Okay, so this is the week of August 12th. That's the Monday through Saturday, August 17th. All right, so on Monday, oh yeah, the SSA put out a big warning about this new con going on. It's called the Long Con. That's the nickname. And we go through what the SSA tells us is happening so that maybe any of you who have seen this or have seen a loved one perhaps get wrapped up into this kind of stuff. It's really bad. And it's going on as we speak. So that was the Monday. Tuesday. All right. This was in response to a viewer. If you are caretaking for somebody, there are repercussions if you're not working and getting paid, such as earning your credits and all that stuff for Social Security, disability, and or retirement. So we go over a little bit of the things related to caretaking because it really does depend on how you do it. And we also, at the end, I bumped into a little talk about the kin care programs that some localities have, such as my own, I believe, but it's very confusing, hard to find. Most people don't know about it. And that's when people can actually be paid to caretake for their loved ones. You know, someone who would otherwise be in a nursing home. So anyway, we just touched on it a little bit. It was just a little hash out there. And how caretakers might want to think about protecting their own future while they're caretaking, if the circumstance of their caretaking warrants it. Okay. Because everything is going to be very different based on that particular situation. That was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, just reporting on what the SSA had just put out, 9 new compassionate allowance diagnoses. So we just do a quick rundown of what they are. That's it, super short. There was, if you recall, last year around this time, the SSA put out 12 new compassionate allowance diagnoses. So I actually attached that to the end so that anyone who follows these things, which is probably the minority of you, compassionate allowance diagnoses are not all that common, but they're incredibly severe. And I'm very glad that they include them. Okay. Thursday the 15th. This is about long-term care and your benefits. If you go into long-term care or your loved one does, your spouse, what effect does that have on their Social Security disability or their Social Security retirement? Go into that. And then Friday, we had the fraud law review, and this time it was the state of Washington. In fact, it had to do with a worker of a credit union who stole IDs and defrauded the credit union customers. It was pretty bad. And of course, stealing IDs means stealing their social security numbers. All right, that was the 16th, Friday. Yesterday, the 17th. Oh, yeah, okay. Saturday, we went over a little function report item that came up. It's with regard to question number 13, which has to do with meal preparation. And this one was just kind of stemming off of an answer we saw about I make casseroles and how that could be, that answer left by itself may be damaging, and how you can easily avoid it if the shoe fits. Okay, so that was Saturday, guys. So the week of the 12th to the 17th, I hope you all had a great week. I hope you had an even better weekend and continue to enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you next week. Bye.